There's no somebody. For my life, there's just me. And there's no someday. For my life, it's just now. It's like anything you see that you could be doing, don't talk yourself out of it. Don't believe that voice in your head that says, oh, well, someone else should fix it, or that's too hard, or that's too complicated. Like, any ideas you have about how you can contribute to helping this place get more peaceful now, do it.
All right, day off.
Day off.
You excited?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I didn't sleep very well. I was nervous.
Were you a little bit nervous?
You can't help it. I still get nervous.
These kids are gonna love you. Don't worry about it.
Have a seat. We are so glad that you are here today.
Kind of going back to what you said earlier when we were all in the auditorium, you said, a new mindset. So pretty much I think that once everybody has that mindset, like you said, everybody's not against you.
Right.
There's a goal that everybody's trying to reach, which is, one inner peace, like with themselves, but in the community, they're trying to make sure that everybody's okay once they, have themselves secure. So I think it's just making sure that everybody has the same mentality, that we're all working for one cause, and everything that you see or hear may not be exactly what it is. It may not be literal. There may be some different meaning. Like you said, a lot of the violent acts and wars that the world has been in is because of some type of misunderstanding. So that once everybody has that mindset and they realize that everybody's going for the same goal, I think it would really help, because everybody will be on the same page, and they'll eventually reach the goal that they set for themselves.
Yes. It's not going to change until somebody says, I'm going to change it. That's just the way reality works. It's like everything in the world came from somebody having a thought and then deciding to act on it in that way. It's like we have modern plumbing because somebody had the thought, we should do something about all this sewage everywhere. Oh no, it's too hard. There's too many people. Every great invention, every great advancement, every change in human civilization has come from someone going, what if there was another way?
I personally feel that getting everybody to have the same thought process isn't the solution. I feel like it's less of the same thought process and more of coming to the same conclusion. Because like in math class, you can solve the same problem two different ways but get the same answer. So it's less about which exact thought process actually works, but it's more about how can we help them get to this conclusion. And once we can help people get to the conclusion, then we can help change their thought process, but they'll never be the same.
And I do think competition and getting upset about things, at least I can only speak from my own experience, is unavoidable. I'm a human, so when something doesn't go my way, I'm like, damn it, I have that feeling, it's totally normal, it's totally human. But I think what you were saying before is what really gives me hope, is if people just understood that that is a feeling, it's normal, but you don't have to act on it. World peace isn't necessarily everyone feeling good about each other all the time. I don't think that's going to happen. We're certainly not going to agree all the time. But what if we just didn't kill each other over it? Would that help? Does that seem realistic? Could humans learn? Yeah, it's inevitable. You're not going to get your way all the time. You're going to get upset sometimes, but we don't have to kill each other over it? Does that seem?
I was thinking about how, if the world can't be at peace completely, can every person be at peace with themselves?
I feel like peace yourself is completely subjective. You can feel peace at yourself for killing somebody. Some people can find peace in that. Or like terrorism, that's why terrorism exists. They think they're doing something for a good cause.
If somebody kills somebody out of retaliation, they're really trying to feel better themselves. They're trying to get that sense of fairness that they think they need.
I want to piggyback off what she said about why people do what they do. I grew up in the ghetto, whichever I want to call it, and when somebody killed one of my homies or one of my friends, that's gonna make me happy. If I go kill one of their homies, that's gonna make us even.
So you just keep losing people you love, that's the only outcome. You have to worry about whether you're going to be the next one, or somebody just deals with being called crazy because they say, I'm not weak, I'm gonna stand for something different, and something might change.
Like it usually be like the younger people that's killing people, right? So I feel like I can't change the world or the mindset of the whole game. If I start with one person, it probably can change the whole mindset. So I would probably go to the big homie that's in charge of all of them. And if I change his way of thinking, I feel like I just made a change in a whole way.
So you're gonna do that?
Yeah.
You do that, let me know. We'll stay in touch. Give me your details.
Okay.
And if you want any help thinking through how to talk to him, I'll help you with that.
Okay.
The situation, like that's what's happening, and like it's gonna it seems like it's really hard, if not impossible, to change it the way it is now. But I think the idea of like going into kids' lives, like with the cartoon, and teaching them those things at that young age would like make it so that there's a new generation who doesn't have to do that.
Like it don't make sense to start with a younger age. If you start with an older age, the younger people look up to the older people. That's probably why the younger kids are probably feel the need to like always have anger, because they look up to the older people that's always angry, always go to violence.
It's like a fight between two people. Some of them has to kind of be the bigger man or woman in a situation. You can see that in a fight, and it has to be that at the level of a country and at the level of someone killing. Somebody has to do it. It fucking sucks. Sorry for swearing, I shouldn't do that. It sucks, but that's what needs to happen. And that's not being weak, that's the opposite, that's being strong. Doing that is the right thing, it's being the bigger man. And like that's what we're trying to say, is that if we know this, we have a choice. If you don't know this, you don't have a choice. So it's like, it's the psychological issue. People hurting people because they don't know what they're doing, that's one thing. But when you know this anger is coming from me, making that decision is something you're doing based on, it's not possible that that's doing that. So you have a potential to kind of show strength in that moment. But that's why people have gone to war, killing people, and they didn't know that they did it because of thinking. But now, in this room, we all know, no, that's thinking. So we can go out the door, and we don't have that excuse anymore, because now we know.
If people looked at things the way they are and said, that is the way they are, it's going to be too hard to change. Someone has to be willing to go, you know what? I'm not buying it. That's why I said you have to be willing to be a rebel. And I'm challenging you, it's a call to question, to get curious about it. It's not a mandate. You're obviously going to go live your life however you want, but for every person that realizes, hey, hang on, wait a second. What if strength was people who stood in peace and knew it came from them and not from retaliating? What if? What if we as a community decided to redefine that? What if we said, that's wrong, that's messed up? That's like back in the days when we let sewage run around on the streets and everyone got sick from it. It's like the equivalent. It's like the willingness to see we can create a new world. But someone has to be willing to have the courageous thought that they can do that they can change it, or else it is going to stay the same. That's the thing, is the status quo versus innovation. Status quo is, yeah, we keep things the same because it's too hard to change them. And innovation, change, and advancement in humanity is someone going, hang on, wait a second, where does all human advancement come from? Someone has a new idea and doesn't say, but it's going to be too hard. They actually do it. They go for it. And what Adic is saying is, based on this conversation, you're armed with, and I really do think it's like, that's why I call it a superpower, you're armed with an understanding that immunizes you from the crap that is the status quo right now. That, oh, it's weak. Bullshit. No one can make you feel weak. Only your own thinking can do that. Next. Like, you got another problem for me? Because I'd love to show you how that's also not true. Like, when you really realize freedom of mind, everything that's keeping the hood the way the hood is stops working. But someone has to be willing to go, you know what? I'm not buying this. I think it could be different. I really do. And it really is just being able to flip things on their head and say, no, that's not weakness, that's strength, and I'm gonna show you why. The thing is that's where new ideas come from, is someone's just willing to go, hey, I have an idea, let's do something nobody's ever done before, and then do it. So I want everyone sitting in here to know, like, you are the change. I don't know if you've ever heard the Gandhi quote, but be the change you want to see in the world. Thank you guys for having me. This is really, really, really fun. I loved talking with you. Thank you for being so open with me. It was really cool.